Hello, and thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be creating another layout for my 2011 album. I'm using up some really old stash. I've had these stars in my stash for a very long time. So I just grabbed a piece of 12 by 12 white cardstock. I'm grabbing my stars and I want to come up with just stars going down the right side of the layout. I found that these stars kind of match what he's wearing. The color scheme is very similar. So I'm just gonna place them. I'm gonna have some of this color, some of the white ones that are slightly thicker. These stars were kind of falling apart, so I just took the top off and I kind of used both the chipboard and the paper that was on top separately. So that's what I'm doing here, kind of separating them so that I could have more options. These stars are also not very symmetrical, so just figuring out the positioning that I want them to go in. And I fidget with that for a little bit, just trying to figure out what the best placement for it is. But I am very surprised at how well this fits um, with his clothing that he's wearing. So I'm using some tacky glue just to glue these all down. I'm holding them into place for a little bit, just making sure everything is stuck properly. I want to make sure nothing falls off the page. So once I'm done sticking all of those paper and chipboard stars, I come in with these gold stars that I also had in my stash. As you can see, I love stars, so I have quite a few stars, and I fill in the gaps and give it some shine with those gold stars, just playing around deciding where I want them to go, and then I'll glue all of them down. I am feeling like the left side is a little empty, so I go into my scraps, my green paper scraps, and I find this, and this was the perfect size already, so I didn't have to do anything with it. I didn't have to cut it or anything, and I decided that I'm gonna use that. Again, I'm just so surprised at how well this all matches, and it's a very happy coincidence. But I'm feeling like the edge between that scrap of paper and the white background needs a little something, so I go into my stash of washi. This is how I keep my washi in these bins, and those go into a drawer. I find one that I had gotten in some Happy Mail, again, a long time ago. So I was able to use that, and I ended up using the whole entire thing for this layout, which is the goal here. I found one that matches those more yellowish stripes and match those stars as well. And I'll look a little bit more, but I end up just going with that. So I use it all up. Um, it was that middle one. Now I'm deciding how I want to back my pictures. I like always having a little bit of a mat. I try out a couple different specialty papers and I land on this one, which is just some vellum. I do double layer this vellum just to give it a little bit more depth. So as you can see, I bring in a polka dot vellum, but that doesn't really work. It's too much going on with those stars, so I don't want anything competing with that. I just go with the regular vellum, and I'm gonna use that as the base for both of my pictures. And I just want to see how it looks. I have two pieces of this vellum paper, and again, I'm able to use that up and get it into a layout and get it into my albums, which is my goal for this year. So I'm making very good progress getting these done and getting them in the album. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of double-sided tape for these pictures. With the vellum, I gotta make sure that the tape is only behind the pictures. Now that everything is glued down, I can look at what I want to do for my title. I'm thinking gold, but I want to make sure that it matches the gold and the golden stars. Just trying to have everything cohesive. I don't like when things are slightly off. I rather just have them different. And lucky here, after auditioning quite a few different things, I end up finding exactly what I was looking for. There was an orange alpha that I thought would work with this, but the problem was there were no capital letters, and since I am I'm using his name for this layout, I felt like I needed a capital letter. I like these ones, these Maggie Holmes alphas I've had for a while too, but they were just off. Uh, that gold wasn't very shiny, so these ones are much, much better. And I had never used them, so it was good to get a little bit more used up. So I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna spell it out, and then I am going to decide on the placement of these. And I end up settling for putting that title at the bottom of the page, right below the pictures. I bring in my T-square ruler just to make sure everything is straight. And once everything is down, I am using that freckled fawn um, labels again. Those are speech bubble labels, so I always trim that speech bubble. I audition it a little bit and I end up settling with having it at the top. I go in, I put my date, and that's gonna be it. I have some still shots coming up for you guys to see these a little closer up. And that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.